káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa tí ì ṣe bàbá.
Ìbà ló yẹ ká kọjú káwa tó ṣeré o ká mọ̀ tí ì ṣe bàbá o.
Ìbà ló yẹ ká kọjú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa tí ì ṣe bàbá.
Ìbà ló yẹ ká kọjú káwa tó ṣeré o ká mọ̀ tí ì ṣe bàbá o.
Ìbà ló yẹ ká kọjú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa tí ì ṣe bàbá.
Ìbà ló yẹ ká kọjú káwa tó ṣeré o ká mọ̀ tí ì ṣe bàbá o.
Olódùmarè
Ìbà ni mo ṣe,
Ifá
ìbà ni mo ṣe,
ẹlẹ́gbára
ìbà ni mo ṣe,
láàlú
ìbà ni mo ṣe,
òrìṣà ńlá
ìbà ni mo ṣe,
olúkòso
ìbà ni mo ṣe.
ọ̀sán yìí o.
All right. Lafayette Mandela, baby Fahudia, it's your favorite warrior. Black Panther back in the building with my podcast mate, Sister Kimi Ayoka.
Hey, Aburabuye, everybody.
I see Baba trying to come in. Gotta get his audio together.
Oh, okay.
Sure he's gonna come in shortly.
Let me see.
We went an hour ahead of schedule, y'all.
Yes.
So, you know, scheduling can be challenging sometimes. We got 3 priests that work and working priests.
That's it to that.
So
we make it work.
yeah, you know, so it's it can be challenging sometimes with the schedule, but we get it together for y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, Baba probably had to pop back out and pop back in. Let me make sure everything is good to go. There we go. There you go. There you go.
Some technical difficulties. I think this technology doesn't want us to be great.
I saw you trying to come in, but I was like, man, he gotta get his audio. It's like it wouldn't connect.
But y'all can hear me now though. I'm good now though, right?
Yeah, we good.
Perfect. How y'all doing?
Good. And everything is well. So man, it's been a while since we all got together. Things have happened. People stay working. Like I was saying earlier, we are priests at work and we are working priests. So, you know, but we make it work as best as possible. What's going on with y'all, man, on y'all end?
Everything is good. I mean, you summed it up. We're working, learning, studying, things like that.
Well, it's been a long week already, but you know, I'm thankful that I have a career and I'm able to do these things that I actually enjoy, you know, whether it's work or play or vice versa. So I'm good.
All right. Well, I want to get this out the way because I don't like talking about myself too much.
No, let's do that.
It's uncomfortable. Since we last convened, went through a type of elevation, if you will, in my Ògún society. I got a sort of, I guess you could call, promotion.
Hey.
Right.
So I was formerly known as a Ológun. That was my priest title. I am now known as Baba Ode, which is father of hunters. So went through that recently. So want to get that out the way. I don't want no questions. I don't want no commentary. We just move on to the next.
Come on now.
Fine.
Congratulations.
You wouldn't let us move on.
This ain't about me. This ain't. I'm not on trial.
Well, I do have a question, since I am also initiated to Ògún, like,
By all means.
I guess if you can overall speak to the experience of it all, like what, if anything, what could you speak to? Like your feelings? Was this something you always wanted to do? Was this something that maybe came in DAFA, or this was what you were destined to do? Like, how can you sum it all up?
Just me going to Ògún, period?
Yeah, the whole experience from beginning to now where you are now.
Well, I think I've said this on a few shows, but like most males that are just getting into the Orisha tradition, you read a couple books and you figure, I'm probably Shango, Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody want to be the king. So, I was thinking that going into my first divination with the recently transitioned Araba of United States and Puerto Rico, Araba Adedayo Logundudu, who gave me my first divination. And I remember him throwing the Opele. I remember him using Ikin. And I remember going, what is he looking at? What is he getting this information from? Like, I'm watching him while I'm like, what is
right?
What is this chain?
Like those rocks?
Rocks throwing this chain down. They look like walnuts. I don't know exactly. So I remember the first thing he said to me when he was done doing the divination, and he looks down, he looks at me, he looks down, he looks at me, he says, you are a child of Ògún. And I remembered seeing Ògún in the book, but I was like, I don't remember, because I was so fixated.
Right. Shango.
So I was like, I got to go back and read about Ògún. And it was for me, when I really started to look at this Orisha and what he was known for and the attributes, and just through the years of learning about Ògún, I know everybody does not act like their Orisha. It's not a zodiac sign. It's
exactly.
Not a trait.
It's not a favorite color.
It's not a favorite color. It's not something you just pick out. But for me, Ògún shows me myself a lot. A whole lot. And I just had to learn that throughout the years. I think more importantly for people, you should focus on some of the stories that paint your Orisha not so in a great light.
Yeah.
Because that can show you things that you should be cautious of.
I agree with that.
With so-called hot deities or hot Orisha, it may be your temper. That you may want to, have a little cautious demeanor, and just reading so much about Ògún, it definitely showed me myself. Getting to the point where I was getting trained regularly, I definitely wanted to pursue priesthood. I definitely wanted to become a specialist in Ògún. I definitely wanted to know how to, consecrate Ògún, make Ògún,
nice.
Accept people to my shrine, have students. I definitely wanted that. So getting to that point was kind of surreal for me, because Ògún, he has so many things that he creates, right? So in getting this position, I received an Ida and an Obe, which is a sword and a knife. So getting more tools of Ògún, and being there with my Agba Ode, my elder hunter, my teacher, and our Egbe, and seeing what he did ritualistically to me when I made this rank and how he trusts me now was like, it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling to get to this point in life. And now it's, as they say in many circles, now it's about to work. So, so Ògún is someone that I will continuously work with and use for the betterment of people and the benefit of my family and myself. So I'm just proud to represent Ògún well and continue to do that throughout my life. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah. I mean, and it makes me think like, we, once we get to know who our head is and we learn and we like to, show that off and be like, oh yeah, because I can be, but you begin to realize is that Orisha is with you because they are there to guide you and teach you in those spaces where you struggle, where you need the most, or where you will outshine the most. So it's not necessarily, I'm a child of Shango because I'm a hothead, which, yeah, I can be, but I could see where, why would I need Shango and not Oya, right? Me being a female is, the type of destiny that I have is one that's always surrounded by enemies. So it's always a thing where I can't just lash out. I can't just type of thing, because in those very same spaces I'm supposed to lead. So it's tricky. It's like, what Orisha could teach me that the most, being always surrounded by enemies, but also have to lead these same people. It's, so it's always, you got to look within yourself and how, you line up and you have to, and what comes with that is the accountability. Like, where do you fall short? And that is where you will see those moments why you have the Orisha on your head.
Is in the moments where, enemies are about or things are not going as they should, that is sometimes where your Orisha is invoked the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because from the time I was told I was a child of Ògún to almost 2 years later, didn't hear a peep from Ògún in any divination.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Nowhere. And I was like, at one point I was questioning, I was like, man, did he maybe get it wrong? Like, Ògún, don't talk to me. Like, all these other deities are coming out, in divination and this. And I'm like, man, like, maybe it's some type of mistake. Like, maybe I should get it read again. Like, but the moment where I was surrounded by my enemies and things were crumbling, it was just like out of nowhere. He was like, no, give me a yam so I can fight your enemies.
Yep.
Whoa, hey.
Yep.
You've been here the whole time?
Yep.
It's like he's like, I'm tired of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of watching this. Give me what I need to do what I do.
And you know what's so funny? I've had experience like that, but it was like the opposite. So, Ògún's very close to me too. He's not my head, but close there. And he is almost since the beginning, every divination, Ògún, 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 Ògún. I'm like, I would have here and there little subtle dreams. Okay, Shango, okay, Baba, I'll see little things here and there. But Ògún, I've seen them in my dreams. I've seen them in my dreams. I'm like, oh my goodness. And it was one thing. I had got a divination and Shango came in heavy. And when in that moment he came in, it's because I was out of line with my character. And he came up and was like, yeah, get it together.
Like, what is this?
And then he went back to where he, and then Ògún took
back to the old room, back to watching.
Right. He came in swift, said, what you doing such as get it together. Bye. I said, okay.
Hey.
But I knew it. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm saying, Ògún. And I realized I stepped out a little too far. Shango was like, wait a minute. Get back here. I said, oh, I'm sorry, Bubba.
Understood. Baba, you being a child of Obatala, what's your experience with, Obatala affecting your life?
That's a good question. Well, first, I want to say congratulations to you. That's pretty major. At some point, I may be, coming to you in the future because Ògún is a significant Orisha for my family, and it's expressed through my father being a priest of a deity that's similar, Nadi Kofi, similar to Ògún. My great grandfather had some connection to Ògún on the Haitian Vodou side. That's where he gets the name Jacques. But it's the synchronization of the because when he was born, it was a significant day for Ògún. A lot of family in the military and different things like that on my father's side. So that's something that I'm always watching you kind of vicariously, like, yo, one day, I'm gonna spin the block and I'm gonna be coming to this brother, to do some Ògún work for sure. So
yeah, whatever you ready.
Yeah. So we gonna have that conversation when I'm ready. After I've continued to do my Ifa studies, I'm gonna circle back around. But to your question, what's my experience with Obatala? So I would like to do what you're doing, right? Which is get deeper into his specific worship. I have yet to have the chance to do that. I think he's a big part of my life. I venerate him constantly, but I would like to, because as you know, it's the way that we Ifa priests interact with each Orisha can be different than the way that Olorisha interact with that particular Orisha. So if you go spend time with people who Obatala is their main deity, that's their main they go to for everything, it can be a bit of a different interaction. So I would like to do what you're doing. So that's why I admire and respect what you're doing. But yeah, he's just on a personal level from working with him and things like that. Obatala has had a lot of major impacts on my life. Him being the Orisha of purity, white cloth, things like that. All of his offerings that he likes, white, bland, absent of any seasoning, flavor, which can be a bit of the opposite of my personality. I like to, at the time where I got initiated to him in my early 20s, I like to party. I like to be here. I like to very loud, I like to be up in the mix, stuff like that. So having to reel that all the way back in, has kind of been a process because I often feel like we have some of the strongest taboos of any Orisha. That's what I be feeling like. Like we be, I don't know. I be talking to people about some Ògún people have taboos, but I be talking to people about Ògún.
No, I agree.
Ògún loves drinking. Ògún loves women. Ògún loves Shango loves drums. Shango loves this. Shango loves that. And I'll be jealous.
I agree. I was there for because my Agba Ode is also initiated to Obatala, and I was there when he was initiated to Obatala at my Ifa Oluwo's house, and I was there doing his Ita. And when they were saying all them taboos, boy, listen, I fell asleep. They were still naming taboos. I looked at him in his face. I said, you ain't never got to worry about me coming to Obatala. This is a lot of stuff because you have the personal taboos, you have the the lineage taboos, you have the it might be something very specific to your Luos Obatala that's now with you, and it was just so. And I was in there like, oh my God! I said, man, wake me when it's time to take the elbow out, because this is crazy. I'm going down. Like we already been working all night. I didn't think the Ita was gonna be that long, but it was, and I was like, is he still getting verses? It can't be more taboos. So yeah, y'all with that bland food and that
all of it. That's
And I can't go anyway. You know, my Ògún like palm wine. That's a no.
And that was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite drinks. I used to love that. Before I found out that was I was a child of Batala. I was like, God damn it! Like I can't even. And I some people have it worse than me. I've seen, you know, people close to me, whatever their Odu is. If I was just like, look, you're a child of Batala. You can't party, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't go out late. You just basically need to focus on being a priest and just living a life of purity. And I just sit there like, God damn, like you can't do nothing.
Nah.
But that's the energy.
That's hard to explain to people like outside the culture. Why you don't never come to none of my get-togethers? I can't go. I wanna go. I wanna go in there, but I can't.
And see, like for me, I don't know. I mean, my Olu always says I'm like a spoiled child of Ifa, I guess, because I'm initiated to Obatala as well. But I was worried. Don't, you know, this just recent. I did it last year, and I was worried because I like drinking, you know, and I'm a child of Shango, right? But even within that, I'm told to, you know, moderation, don't. Yes. But I'm like, yo, I'm about to do a bottle. Like, wait a minute, hold on. I might get drinking taken away. I'm like, okay.
You might get something.
And that did not happen. I was told that I have to keep gin with my Obatala at all times.
Yeah, in a lot of in most places that I've been to in Yoruba land, it's that palm wine that
I mean, of course I can't do that, but that whole, it's crazy because if I'm giving like simple offerings and I try not to do Obatala Shango, you know, I try to stay on the O'Shea days, but if I just want to give random whatever, I try not to, because after Shango, I'm looking like, I'm like, even if I'm Ògún, I'm like, okay, because I'm so nervous and I have to like, because with Shango and Ògún is very much I'm up here and I'm intense and I'm Obatala. Wait a minute. Yeah. I gotta take a deep breath. Let me calm down. Let me slow down. And that's something I'm trying to still learn because Ògún and Shango, I'm used to that. And even before I knew, you know, who I was, Obatala is what I need to get used to. And I love it though, but it's still something to get used to.
If I'm going to Egungun and Obatala in the same day, I go to Obatala first.
Yes.
Because I don't want to, because with Egungun, we sometimes offer palm to the shrine, palm oil, and I don't want to come to your shrine smelling like the thing you don't like. What's that on you?
Exactly. What I'm thinking is. Because the fear is just the same, if not heightened. Because I'm like, oh no, I don't want to get nothing.
I don't want to know my hands, and I'm dipping the OB. I don't want that, so I just go to Obatala first, and then I'll go to Egungun, so there ain't no problems.
Yeah, it was somebody who I did divination for when I was in Nigeria. I can't remember the Odu. They were told that they have to fetch, because you know Obatala likes water in front of his shrine all the time. But they were told that they had to. I don't want to misquote it, but it was that not only did they have to constantly bring fresh water to Obatala in the morning, but it's a specific Yoruba word for it: water that you fetch but you don't speak in the morning.
Dumb water.
What'd you say, Baba?
Dumb water.
Dumb water.
Yeah, it's like the English translation.
Okay.
Like when you don't speak, you go fetch it.
You got to fetch it. You wake up.
And the person had to do that all the time to their Obatala. I'm like, God damn, like you gotta go fetch water. You can't say nothing. You gotta go bring it. I'm like, Obatala. But there was something that you said, that's important. People from the diaspora feel like Obatala has a pure gin drinking taboo and so it's a conversation I constantly have. They see me doing Ifa work. They see me take a little shot.
You can drink
They're
it.
like, oh no, that's taboo. Or they be like,
No.
oh, he doesn't take liquor on his shrine at all. I'm like, that's not true. He takes
So
gin on
that-
his shrine.
That's just
all
like
of
wearing black too. It's not it's not every child. It's not every, it's not all of their taboos. And people have different paths, different
You got on
lineages.
black right now.
I try not to wear black, but today I happen to have it on. I try my best because
But some have a strict taboo where they
Yeah,
can, and then some don't. It's okay. Of course, even me, I'm advised to wear lighter colors, but I'm a child of Shango and I don't have a taboo of red. I can wear red anytime I want. But so I get it. I'm glad
well, I'll say he definitely doesn't like black because if I start to wear black too much, my next divination, all of a sudden, the next divination all of a sudden talking about Obatala wants you to obey your taboos. Obatala wants more offerings from you. Obatala wants. I'm like, God damn, okay.
He's probably looking at you.
It was a tank
Like,
top.
you were black again?
No, it was a tank top.
You wore black one too many times.
Goon, most of my closet is dark, and I got black shirts out the Watson.
Bro, I used to dress like Blade before.
It's me.
Well, I have a taboo. I can't wear black. I can't do black. I can do red though. I got a lot of red, but interesting enough, in my Elay this year is red is taboo. So I'm like, I gotta take all the red down and put it away.
Life. Look, you lucky you only got it for a year. I got that for life. No red. No, like no red, no majority. Like if it has like a little.
Give me y'all clothes then. Send them over because I have them Monterey. I have them him. Just send them on because I can wear it. I can wear it.
I can too, but next year.
Speaking of taboos, we talked about taboos. People that perform curses and wicked types of work in this tradition. It can a bad or a person with ill intent, it doesn't change just because they get initiated. And some people are going to use their means to try to inflict harm on people for whatever reason. And I've dealt with this personally in my life. People have attacked, my loved ones, and I had to defend them using the tradition. And although it was a stressful time, you really see the beauty in the tradition as far as defense work is concerned. Right. When you're in that battle, that spiritual battle with somebody. I remember I had to offer like some little blades. Like they're these little I think they call them they're obe, they're knives, but they come with eschewed. And I had to offer so many of those blades in a manner on like a riverbank for a protection. And it's just little things that you would never really think about.
Exactly.
But man, during that period, I really saw the beauty in the poetry of the verses. And they talk about Ephah's fire. You'll hear that a lot, Ephah's fire, and burn away the enemies and lighting lamps and things of that nature. So it's very, very serious work, but beautiful work at the same time. So what are you guys' experiences with that things of that nature?
So I would say, there's definitely that side of the tradition where most competent, Babalawo Yanifa will tell you that aspect of throwing stuff at people, doing things like that definitely exists, but, talking to our Oluwo, he prefers to just do at ball. He has that knowledge, but he prefers, I'm just going to do my at ball. I don't throw things at people. It's just what I do, and so I kind of choose to follow suit in terms of that, and I think you spoke to a good point about, Ifa has so many different nuanced, protection rituals and things like that, that it will mention. I mean, you mentioned a good part about there's a whole class of, plant related verses. Like there's a whole class of plants that have spines, that have poison, that have things like that. And the verses, like you said, will speak about, okay, this is how this plant, was to protect itself, like in a Warren Shogbe, the Yedegbe plant, or in Ogbe Okaran is another type of plant. The Ebo would be similar. This plant was being attacked by birds. Like went to Ifa, it now has spikes and it has poisonous sap. So, like you said, razors or needles will be included in the airball. You have like a white paste that will be included in the airball to be given an issue that mimics how this plant naturally defends itself. So I can think of, I like that hook. I can think of dozens of examples of the essence of how this particular plant defends itself. The airball and the rituals in some way mimic that, or even different animals and things like that, how they defend themselves and things. Like we were just in the Ifa workshop that I did, we were talking about Okaran Sa and how the snake was originally being mistreated and oppressed. It came to Ifa, it got the venom that it uses to defend itself, and it says how the ori of the snake is what it prevents it from being mistreated. There's some medicine, some cuts that are put in the person's head, and the same way the snake defends itself, this is going to allow the person's ori. The snake uses its head to defend the person's ori to repel it. So that's one thing I'll say. That I love about Ifa. That's a good point, where like there's so many thousands of little nuanced rituals, that mimic the ashe of how so many different things defend themselves, and then we can use that, to defend ourselves. The last example, just to close out that example I gave about Yerebre. Yerebre is, I think, the vanilla bean plant, Owari Shogbe. I've never seen it personally because I don't live in Nigeria, but my Yoruba teacher told me you touch it, it really hurts. And but Ifa says that plant was being attacked by birds, and there's some special akoshe was made with the fur of a rat and all the rest of that stuff. And now the birds try to touch it, is so similarly. So I think that's a good point. And again, I choose not to engage in attacking people and doing things like that. I just do my airball. I let Ishu, I let Ifa, I let the Orisha just handle it for me. And that's the majority of my protection work.
Yeah, there's a passage in Ejiokbe that talks about people with ill intent, evil mindsets that try to do work. I think it goes, Bi Olorun Oba She Dami, Ni Mo Ense, Mi O Sebi, Mi O Bi Mora, Ika, Siku, Kima Ba Leba, or Siku. And that's talking about it is how my heavenly creator made me that I am acting. I will engage in no evil. I have no bad intention in mind, so that I won't die in poverty. So, Ifa does not condone people that do these ill intentions. They're like you said, protection work is usually the defense against people like this. And you're really putting yourself at risk because there are people that don't go protection route. They go offensive. And if they got the knowledge to do so, like you never know what somebody has. You never know what type of eshu, what type of verses they know, what type of talisman or charm, or so it's best to keep your mind on your own destiny and move about. I get if somebody wrongs you, but going to spiritual nature to attack them can get very muddy. It's the same as if you attack somebody physically. You might get them this time, but what about the time you don't see them and they see you? They didn't put hands on you, and now it's an internal back and forth. So it can be even more muddy when it comes to the spiritual nature, because depending on the ashe that the person has, depending on what they know, depending on what lineage or whatever they're from, they may have something that you don't see coming. And now you're in a dicey situation, and it might not even be you. That's the thing about, people don't do this. They don't just come after you. They may come after your loved ones. They may come after your children.
Exactly.
So, it's best to just,
Well, let me add something to that, because there's a verse that you were chanting before. If you don't, you can speak to that verse, but it made me think of how, hey, if I go to Ifa and I'm told to feed a certain Orisha for protection, I can't help what that Orisha does to you. And it made me think of Shango, and you were, I think if you could talk about that verse, was it from Udimeji, right? You were talking about that verse about Shango, right?
Oh yeah, Shango, Odimeji with the 200 thunderstorms, and how that's how he used to defend himself against his enemies, who were coming together, conspiring to take him down, and he used those 200 thunderstorms to take him out. So and then that verse is speaking like being mindful, like, hey, if you're gonna talk about Shango, you might want to be careful. And I'm not gonna talk about Shango. You got it. So, but yeah.
You want to chant that one? Yeah, you remember that one? You want to chant that one?
Yes, and the Shango Day too. Odimeji, Onyameji, Diafun, Oluko Solalu, Bambi, Ari Ba Tashegun, Onunkan Karanile, Eboni Koashe, Talo, Parioba, To, Emio Perie, Etalo, La Rira Fichete, Igbalta, La Rira Fichete, Igbalta. So basically, the Igbalta is the 2000, well, probably 200 thunderstorms, and how he used that to defeat his enemies. Because people were trying to conspire and say, oh, he's not this, he's not that. And it's like, that verse is reminding you, hey, you might want to not want to be in that crowd, because them stones is coming.
I had a few rocks thrown at me. I could imagine 200.
Right. Like, I don't want no. Look, being a child of Shango is, and everybody's path is different. But mine is, I'm much more of even my Ludo. He's like, oh, you're a spoiled, pampered child. Don't let that fool you, okay? Because Bubba Shango gonna let me know when I'm out of line or I'm doing too much, and I still have to be mindful of how I'm presenting myself. Because you're representing yourself, and I feel like it's a thing. How can I put it? And I could be wrong. Like, when you are like a child of that type of Orisha, like, you are going to manifest enemies. Like, and I was going to make a point, like, just because you're out here and you're doing what's right, your intentions are right, you're doing your dafas, you're doing your ebos, you're trying to stay committed. And you're so nice to people, do not think for 1 minute you do not have enemies, because you do. And don't be shocked either. You cannot walk around. What is that quote? Like, don't create the war, but also be prepared for it. Mm-hmm. So, like, you don't want to have the mindset like, oh, what's up? No, you want to be respectful, kind to everyone, but also be aware that you're going to have enemies regardless. You could be nice or you could be mean, but you're going to have enemies. And specifically myself, I was told that, I have to be kind, not to say that I'm not kind, but it's for protection, because that kindness limits the amount of enemies. It doesn't stop it, but it limits it. And it's a way I have to carry myself, because I'm told enemies are always going to come. I was just told last year I got a past enemy still trying to get me in this life. And I'm like, what the heck did I do? So I just have to be mindful. That's a lot of what my taboos are. It's not so much like color.
You think you did reincarnated and I done forgot.
Right. So I have to conduct myself in a way where, I can have that energy, but do I want to fight 10 enemies compared to like 20?
Yeah.
But the other 10 is what I conjured myself. Is like, but just don't think you have none. Because you
gotta have some. You're a person that practices Ishesha in the United States of America. That garners enemies off the bat. We're in a Christian
And you
country.
got to think of your bloodline. You got to think of past lives. You got to think of, curses that may have came down. You never know.
You never know. And that's one thing about the tradition. You'll never know these things until you seek the tools of this tradition. Like you'll never know this, somebody has put something spiritually in your path or something in your lineage
Exactly.
is in your way that needs to be rectified unless you seek the tools of this tradition. And I don't say that to scare anybody, but I do say it to say,
It's true.
It's just like a human body. There are people that go their whole lives with conditions and they never knew about the condition until a certain point. I always talk about one of my favorite basketball players, Pistol Pete Maravich. Pistol Pete, this white guy coming up back in the day, man, he could shoot the ball. He was crazy with the handle. He was amazing. But Pistol Pete played with an enlarged heart, and he never knew about his enlarged heart. When he stopped playing, he died because that physical fitness was keeping him alive with his enlarged heart condition. So just think about, spiritually, if he never went to the doctor, the doctors weren't like they were today. So, if you don't go to your spiritual doctor to address, some things that may be going on, you may be going through life aimlessly, thinking it's all good, and there's something in your path that needs to be removed immediately. So I just give that as an example. I wanted to ask y'all, because I don't know if this is in y'all's lineage, because technically it's not in mine, but I just became aware of it. Have you ever heard of Ella Day?
I've been, as of recently, I have been hearing a lot, but since it just came up, a lot of great posts, a lot of great verses sharing about who Ella is, but I've never attended it, so it's kind of recent on my radar too.
You as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of what Ella was years ago. People describe it as sometimes the voice of Arumela. But it wasn't until this year I found out that it was a specific day in Oyo. It's May 19th every year. It's the only day that I know like that in Orisha culture is a fixed day. This day every year. So I don't know how long they've been doing May 19th, but that is
synchronization there.
Yeah, I don't know how long, or when they just said, okay, this day, no matter what. I don't know. But May 19th is Ella Day in Oyo. And I was looking at a couple verses about Ella. And it's kind of funny because I did not know that Christians claim Ella to be Jesus. And the reason being is because
maybe I ain't go that deep.
Well, it's a verse that there was a mother named Oyigi, and Oyigi wanted to have children. She did her, she went for divination. She did her elbow, and they said that you will conceive a child soon. And she's like, I don't even got no man. Like, what do you mean I'm going to conceive a child? I ain't got no man. I ain't got no husband. I ain't got no possibles. There's nobody on my radar. Where's this child gonna come from? They're like, I'm telling you, you do this elbow, you're gonna receive it. You're gonna conceive a child. So she does it, and she starts to feel a bit funny, going through her, day-to-day stuff. And it turns out she gives birth, immaculate conception. So now you can see why
gotcha.
have latched on to this story. And that child was Ella. And Ella was one of the most devoted students of Orunmila, turns out. So when Orunmila went back to the Arun, you know, he said, when you call me through Ella. So that's why you hear some people say Ella, Ella Oboye, Ella Oboshishe. There's ways you can worship Ella through Ikin, and even in some places in Nigeria, Ella is a separate shrine from Orunmila, all to its own.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
No, I was saying our lineage. I mean, because there's other verses too that talk about they kind of. It's interesting. He finds different ways of explaining the same thing. There's a verse. You've heard me chant this many times. The one from Uturupma Udi. The one in Oni Awijo, Oni Uturupan DJ Ala Awijo, Oni Ala Shahere, Ofi Odun Job by way, Ofi Tete shows Rure, Ofi Okunjo by Omi, Ofi Osa shows Rure. Sibe on my right way, Ala Shahere, I say why I say, but Ala talk more. So we're speaking about how, you know, Orunmila did all this good stuff in the world, but after a while, and it says some other stuff in the beginning, you know, he made Odundun, the king of leaves. He made Tete, the second in command. He made the ocean, the king of waters. He made the lagoon, second in command. So, but you know, that's a metaphor for Orunmila did all this good stuff on earth. And then humanity started saying, man, you ain't do shit. They started saying, Orunmila ain't do nothing, da, 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 da. And so he got fed up. It's like his ministry went back to heaven.
Yep.
That's what I say. A lot talking. Sometimes they use Orunmila and a lot anonymously. A lot talking. He tied a rope and went back to heaven. And then, you know, basically when Orunmila went back to heaven, the world fell into chaos. So humanity, we gathered all his favorite offerings and begged him to come back down. And so he essentially, it's the same idea of he told them that Allah, to call on Allah, you know, when they want to call on him. And in the verse, you know, we say Allah come Allah in the verse say Allah, you know, descend, eat, take the rat, take the fish, take this, take that. I think that's like another story that is the idea of Orunmila going back to heaven. And being called to Allah as well.
Yeah. And you will find that for people listening many times, you will find verses that are similar or sound the same or explain the same point in slightly different ways. That's just how verses of the Oduifa go. But yeah, that's basically it's very interesting how a deity can be so much more prominent in one area of Yoruba land, and then you go to Yoruba land, another part of Yoruba land, and they be like, "Hey, we know, but
right,
he ain't really got the juice like that down
right.
here." You know, sometimes, you know, so it's like, you know, that's one thing that's hard to explain to people starting out, because, you know, when you say Shango, they'll be like, oh yeah, Shango must be the man everywhere. And then you go to Ile-Ife and you hear a bunch of Oramfe stuff, and you be like, man, but they talk about lightning, they talk about fire, that's Shango. Like, well, their deities he like him, but you know, he's
ain't really, you know.
You go to Ketu, you see Agbona, you be like, man, that's got to be Shango. They got a relationship, but you know, like that's one.
They be cousins.
Yeah, like there's so many fire and lightning deities, like, you know, and I'm like, man, Shango is the most popular of them all, but there's so many others that, you know, people may or may not know about. So it's
you know what I find interesting too, and maybe because this is because of different lineages, which I respect, but I've met a couple people and they're like, oh yeah, who's your, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm child of Shango, and they're like, impossible. And I'm looking at them like, what do you mean? And they'll be like, no, you have to be Oya. And I'm like, no, I'm Shango. I'm very much Shango.
I know why.
Even in like some lineages in Africa would have the same reaction. I'm just like, what do you mean impossible? It's very much possible.
Yeah.
And we're out here.
I've heard it before. I don't. Some people that's just their way of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, they do that with Ogun too. They do that with Ogun with women. Although there are women that are children of Ogun. But,
My ear, she's a child of Ogun through and through.
Yeah,
And she even came from a
like
lineage that she left because they tried to tell her she was Oya, and they're like, when she, you know, changed up, they told her like, who told you that? Like, no, you are a child of Ogun. Like,
they won't. Some people are hesitant to give Ogun chieftaincy to women. Because of the trades of Ogun and how they're hard, like back-breaking and hard and tough. They're just hesitant to do it. And I've heard this narrative a few times before. But you know, every lineage, every region doesn't feel the same.
right.
But I have heard it before. Like, no, going too rough, too
yeah.
to you know, we don't want to give you a title that makes you look a certain way, and you know, because they're very much about protecting people's image and character with titles. That's one thing with titles. There are some people that just give titles away, of course.
Yeah.
And titles can make you a laughing stock depending on the title. And if you're not very aware of the cultural backing behind the title,
right.
You know, you proud to get the title, and people be looking at it like, that don't make sense.
They gave you that.
You're an Obatala child and you got an Oduduwa title. This don't make sense. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, so, you know, there are little things in the culture like that, that, you know, some people have their opinions.
Right. I get that.
But, you know, everybody is up to their, like, when you get presented with something like that, you know, you have to weigh the pros and cons and see if it's for you.
Right.
When they offer you something like that. But yeah, I have heard those narratives. Mostly I've heard the most popular one I've heard is in Cuba, where if you're a dark-skinned woman, they will automatically say that you're Yemaya.
Oh, okay.
And if you're a light-skinned woman,
right.
You know they're gonna make sure that you're
So the mammy stereotypes that people have,
basically.
Black
women. So that's the most popular one I've seen. So when I see dark skinned women going to Cuba, I'm like, she gonna come back yet. Sure enough. I'm like, why she could be nothing else? Like,
right.
Hey, come on.
Right, walking around here, a whole child of Ogun.
Man, it's just crazy sometimes. In you guys' lineage, do you have what is called Iwo Afoshe, or what we commonly refer to as Ashe horns?
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a horn. It has medicines in it and stuff like that. It amplifies whatever you pray, whatever you speak into. Yeah. We have those definitely in our lineage.
Yeah, I recently found out that these can come in various shapes and sizes. That some Ashe horns are bigger than others.
Is there any significance with it, or is just?
Yeah. Well, there's Iwo Afoshe. Then there's one that's like a different, like it's an Ashe horn, but there's a different name. It's Olubohun. It's a different type of horn. A little more aggressive.
Gotcha.
A little more aggressive in the manifestation type, but they're both horns. And there's a name because hunters carry these, and they have like they carry them away from their shrines. Like they don't stick with their shrines. The place is called like a house of power or something like that.
Yeah, when I was in Atlanta, that was a good just to give a practical example, I was in Atlanta for the New Year's stuff at Ye's Botanica. You know,
When you ain't tell me you was going to, you just kind of popped up.
It was spur of the moment. I was like, you know what? I'm here. I was like, what's going on, y'all?
I tell you what, he's sticking to that story. I tell you that. He's sticking.
Oh yeah.
But look, they pulled out all the afro shades and things like that to say prayers for everyone for the new year. So they pulled them all out. You know, people chanted different verses, things like that. You know, to amplify the you know, what they were praying for and things like that.
Yeah, definitely, and it's I want to get more into that because I only see them wrapped in red, which is interesting.
Me too. Yeah.
I've never seen them in anything else. I know they're associated with hunters. I know you see them. You'll even see some egungun with them in their hands.
Mm.
You know, it's a very it's more common than I thought they were.
Mm.
So I definitely want to get more into that. But yeah, it's there are even verses that talk about it. There's one verse in particular, now that you mentioned Shango and Oya, where Shango sent Oya to retrieve a horn. But they told her, you know, be careful with this horn. Be careful, you know, to speak into it, this, that, and the third. And they talk about her touching her tongue to the horn 3 times and blowing on it. And when she got to Shango and he asked her a question, the first thing she did was when she spoke, fire spat out her mouth. And that's speaking to the nature of the horn, of manifesting things, you know, and you know, touching it a certain way. But it was a lesson for Shango, like to retrieve something of such power, like, you know, send
You gotta
somebody.
do it yourself.
You go do it yourself. So,
and I don't know if that's the same Odu or not, but I've heard Odu where it advised the man, don't send your wife to do a mission. You must do it yourself. I don't know. I remember it, but I can't remember Odu that was.
Even if she insists, because my wife,
right. Look, you gonna have to tell me once or twice. I'm like, I can just do it. Just
stay in the car. I look up. Not only are you out the car,
right. I'm trying to see what's going on. Like, who talking what? But no, you're right.
I remember we left our door open by mistake. So, you know, I went in there, you know, guns blazing. I said, stay in the car. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, call the police.
Oh no.
1 minute and 30 seconds later, she is out the car.
Yep.
With her weapon drawn.
Let's go.
I said, what are you doing? I said, boy.
Look.
And my wife is Oya. So
here you go. She
riding in the battle. I can't stop her.
How you gonna tell you? Come on now.
Yeah, you. What I told you to stay in the car.
You can't tell no child of Oya to sit down. You crazy?
I'm not doing it.
See, it's not happening.
I'm coming with 2 guns are better than 1.
I'm with her. Look, I'm child of Shango. I'm right there with her. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. That wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan. Oh man. Anyway, other things in this tradition that's been coming up a lot. You know, money rituals is something that's coming up a lot in the diaspora. You know, people thinking, first of all, you can get rich off of Isheshe, but the asking for money rituals is coming a lot. And I don't have a problem with the things that we have in this tradition for money, because we do have, you know, Ajay, we have soaps, and we have, you know, even what we just talked about, afro horns can be used to attract money, but I think it should be explained thoroughly before you charge people.
Yes.
Before you give some of these items out, and if you're gonna give some soap out, explain to the person how to use the soap. You can't just sell them the soap. Now they bathe it every day in the soap, and it's supposed to be used sparingly, and now the soap gone, and they mad. So for my practitioners out there, tell your people how to use these items. Don't just give them items, But what are some of y'all experiences with the money rituals, and have you been asked to perform said money rituals?
I would say not so much me. I'm under an elitist, I don't want to say strict, but like very cautious about things like that. Like I said, my ear is child of Ògún, so it's like very, we follow protocol. Like we don't, we really got to go through her, which it should be, So I don't really dabble in that, and she doesn't. She's not really about that at all. So I mean, they may have more experience than I do because I'm
trying to get out the camera. That's why
I know, right?
Looking around the corner. Bible? People they hit you up for that munyon.
So I feel like I mean, we have various medicines for money attraction. Like you said, all different types of crochets for money attraction. We have Ajay right here, Reach Out Wealth right here. That feed all the time for people, But yeah, I just don't think Ifa cannot manifest money out of thin air. As the Yoruba proverb says, Ishe, Logun Ishe. Work is the antidote for poverty. Work is the Ògún can be medicine, but it can also be spiritual medicine. So if we interpret it that way, work is the best spiritual medicine against poverty. So I think that take your crochets for money, feed Ajay, feed all these Orisha can bless you with money. Do all of that. But if you're not working or you're not moving and shaking and things like that, Ifa's not just gonna drop money on top of it. I feel like most of these methods that we do are to augment or add to the work that you're already doing. So if I'm in business and I got my restaurant, I got this, there's definitely crochets that can attract more customers to me. There's sometimes Ajay can help me get over a hump that I'm getting through. But if you ain't got no business, you ain't got nothing, you sitting on your ass, you think you're going to take some medicine or something.
Yeah. Have a business overnight. Overnight, my LLC going to be popping.
It ain't happening.
Yeah.
It ain't happening at all.
And also some people's destiny, they're not destined to be rich until later on in their life. So it's like, just saddle up because it ain't coming until later on. You know what I mean? So
there's a part of Osei Warrior that says Moise inje komaje onise afimo inje komaje onis oluse onise loyeni oluse koye omo inian, and that talks about know how to work and be financially stable.
Yeah.
Be idle and be poor.
Yep.
Hard work pays. Laziness does not befit humans. So, even the Bible says faith without works is dead. It ain't no way around work. This is not a tradition that, you can manifest things out of thin air, like Baba said. It's a tradition of work, especially when you're talking about Ògún. All of his trades are work. Blacksmithing, hunting, wood carving, sewing, everything you think about with Ògún got to do with some work. Farming, work. Even going to war is work. It's work.
Even I would say, even on how to handle his implements is work.
Work.
You have to like, you know, because what I do, I have to make sure I know what I'm doing. I have to, you know, unload, load, clean. I have to know what that is in
You
order
can
to protect myself.
all the Ogun's implements, you can seriously like hurt yourself
Exactly.
if you're not qualified and you're not paying attention. If you blacksmithing, you know, and you got to pay attention. You
Exactly.
you know, same thing with sharpening a sword or even sewing. You can prick your finger, or you know, shooting weapons. You got to be, you know, cognizant. So you know, it's all of his traditions denote intentionality and attentiveness and work.
And that's
It's
like with fire, you can't like control it. You have to
good.
be cautious, right? And you could use certain things to at a distance let
Mhm.
it go down, right? But you got to be mindful. You got to be smart. You can't just go diving in there because you're done.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Baba, I knew you was gonna give me a political answer on the money rituals, but I got something for you now.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Have you ever got one of them love spell requests?
Ah,
I got you now.
not as of yet. I be seeing Babalawas online doing it, and I be wondering. Sometimes I be wondering. I be like, hey, I be like, how much Odu is that? I be wondering sometimes. They be doing
What Odu is that?
and it could be real. You know, there's so many medicines, but it seems like everybody want to be tying two statues together with threads and posting.
I don't understand that.
I just be like,
So I've asked about it, and what I've been told is that's called Afiri medicine. It's when you tie two statues, you know, male and female, they tie them together with a certain color of yarn, and you know, you can do rituals for two people, but the way it was explained to me is it's not like they whammy you and you gonna wake up and just be like, oh, I love this person.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't see it before. I'd have to be with them. Nah, from what I've been told, you may think about this person for, you know, a period of time, but it can't change your mind if you don't, you know, have any feelings for this person, like whatsoever. You know, it can't, like, you know, just men in black you.
Right.
And now this person is the best thing since sliced bread, and you want to get married. That's not how that works. You know, that's how it was explained to me. Because I used to wonder the same thing. I've seen the stuff for many years on Instagram, the tying of the statues, the soaps that claim this, the crochet that claim that. But I will say it can come up also for married couples that are going through rough patches.
Yeah.
So I have seen it. I've seen Odu, and I think we were talking about an Odu, me and you, Baba, where they talk about those Odu that talk about intimacy and may describe sexual positions. So, you know, it's those come up. Like people think that, listen, if it's something within Ifa, it can come up. I'm telling you. If it's something in this world that you think that Ifa just like, he don't talk about that.
Look, Ifa lived a life, okay, many lives. Okay.
You know, for the verse I was talking about, it's Odi Meji. And it's Oduko Yibiri Biri Jana, Adifa Fun Woni Idi Kurin, Abun Fun Won Idi Birin, Eku Omoni Won Sun Igbati Ididi Meji, Omode Igba Ididi Meji, La Won Bimo. And that translates to the two big clay pots do not roll by itself across the road. Divine for male genitalia, divine for female genitalia. They became two and arrived. When bottoms became two, they had birthed. So when the bottoms came off,
You know what I mean?
it's time for it's time to get it in, and you
Listen.
can use that for couple intimacy.
Mm.
You can even use it in projects between males and females where they have to work together. And typically, a rooster and a hen are offered together in that manner.
Yes.
The union, the union type of thing that happens with that. So it's definitely out there. It's not like people think, like in the movies and what was that? What was that perfume in the 90s? Love Spill, not number 9.
Yes.
It's not like that.
Yeah, I shared some verses on my story. I shared the one from Ikao Tura, the Okakatura. The one speaks about I don't want to translate all the verse, but it speaks of the same thing about men and women laying together in different positions. And Shango and Oya were lamenting about lack of children. They came together, had many children. I even chanted the other verse, which bata ko alapata ni vibo barabo be ya formula baba sukun alailo bere aboni panikoje obaje for radiwo bengele. That's the bengele. That's what Ormila came to Ifa lamenting about lack of a spouse, and it says, let me y'all get the motion I'm doing. Bengele is, I guess, the motion of the sound from Ormila.
I remember I commented on that. I said, who would have thought being a Rumila got something?
I said, oh shoot, okay. I said, I see why my mama loud. I see why we both. I said we just like our mama.
Do you think Shango came in the bedroom with the Osei Shango and the Shera? Do you think? You think he announced himself like
he used the original one?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I got a mortar for you, girl. I got the mortar and the panel. I ain't playing tonight.
Oh my goodness.
I ain't playing tonight. I am the king.
I ain't mad at it.
That boy, hey man, we not as different from our ancestors as one may think. And
Right.
when you read these verses, you'll start to see you you did that too. Oh wow. I mean,
you start with like, oh, me too.
Yeah. Even like the conflicts and all the stuff that was going on back there, the taking of people's women, it all went down back then too. I'm telling you, they got it in the records.
Yes.
They got it in the records. I'm telling you, so.
And I would just say, like, on a more serious note, I wish that we would look at those examples a bit more to reflect on our own lives, especially when it comes to the women in the positions in this tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the respect, of Oshun that was given, in the beginning, they didn't want her. But then, when she distanced herself and took away her power, they're like, oh, okay. And, Rumila was like, no, she needs to be here. She's important just like the rest of you. Or even how Oya is deemed to be the first to go to battle. Like, those are real significant things. Even Idan, like, if we can reflect on those things, like, I think, especially in this tradition, when it comes to women in these traditions to be, revered in the same aspect too.
Absolutely. I like to point out to people that Oshun is very knowledgeable.
Yes.
And we don't tend to think of her in that light.
Nope.
You got to understand that that Oshun was around from the very beginning. She's in the room.
Yep.
She spent time studying with Ifa.
Yep.
She spent time studying with Obatala.
Yep.
She spent time with Shango. So
Yep.
she has a wealth of knowledge to pull from, and she's also very skilled with medicine. Her waters is medicine. She's learned a lot of medicine. She's learned divination systems. She's learned cowrie shell systems. So
she's a warrior.
And she's a warrior. So she's very knowledgeable in a lot of different things.
Yes.
That I don't think people really see because they look at the sensuality side of Oshun, and they talk about her beauty, and I understand that from a physical and aesthetic standpoint, but there's so much more to Oshun as far as what's in her literature and
right.
Her travels through Shokbo and Iketi and all these different places that she was at. Is other than a Rumila and some of the other for as far as the female deities, I don't know if there's a more traveled Orisha than Oshun.
Mm-hmm.
You
I almost look at her like a spy, right? Like she's
everywhere.
Playing this part to like do her job, and she's and then boom, she's out. You know what I mean?
The grove where she defeated the wizards. Think about the grove with her and getting the lamp from Osayin. Think about her battling the Iyami.
Yep.
Think about those things. Like Oshun is not to be just that's just sexy and pretty and nah, bro. She's that deal, like
for real.
She's a very powerful ally to have. I just think it's the representation is just incomplete.
I agree.
I would say that just incomplete. I mean, I could say the same thing about Oya. I mean, people don't understand that when she was the first queen to touch the king's head.
Mm.
When they talk about her braiding Shango's hair, she had risen to such a status where that was acceptable. Before that, wasn't nobody touching them braids. Like
exactly.
She was the first person like, let me get these braids together.
Right, exactly.
Right. Let me get
stop playing.
Get these braids together. You had these.
But she's also very motherly too. Like they say, she has no children, this and that, but she's very, 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 very motherly.
I mean, think about the attributes of Oya as far as power is concerned. I mean, we have control over the winds.
Yep.
She's also a fire deity. She's also a lightning deity.
Yep.
She's also a deity that transforms into deers.
Exactly.
So it's like, is there another Orisha that has that many attributes?
And then she learned the fire from Shango. Like she ended up learning it and was like, "Oh, okay, let's go."
Oh, that's how you do that.
Like, oh, Shango fire. She was like, look. So you know what I mean?
Imagine being known for something and coming home and seeing your wife doing it effortlessly.
Right.
Hey, that's my thing.
Right. I know he was like, hold up.
Hold on now. Don't tell nobody else you know how to do that. How did you learn how to do it?
Exactly.
And I mean, there's songs that talk about her being stronger than her husband.
Yep.
So, people, another narrative to me that's kind of incomplete. We don't really, we tend to just think of like storms or winds, but
right.
It's not that, and I tell people it's not that she just creates these winds. She knows their names,
right?
And she knows she has commands over these winds. So it's like you got to put some respect.
And I think that's also with like Shango, Ogun, and even Obatala. I think those stories are a bit incomplete because we just give them that one title or that one look, like Ogun, Shango.
Some stories.
But they actually have some real deep, thoughtful stories where war or blood is not even involved. And a lot of it is like, dealing with some deep you know, things in life on how to like really react when you don't have to go to war, when you don't, you know, you can't rely on being the king. You got to rely on humbling yourself and treating people fairly. Like they have, you know, I think those are a bit incomplete themselves too.
You know, Batala constantly reminds me of like effortless power. Like you don't have to get mad and riled up. Like he is just his words manifest and that's it. Like there's a story where he helped a town stop like a plague, but then you know the town started disrespecting him. He put the whole town to sleep. Everybody night night. Yeah, right. All right.
Exactly.
Whoa. So it's like, you know, we really got to dig into those, you know, the literature and the Odu and, you know, the songs and all the things that come with these Orisha, because there's so much like knowledge about who and what they were and are, exactly. You know, that can aid us in our prayers. Because if you know this deity is known for this or can do this or has done this, you know what to metaphorically ask for. You know, it's very important when you're doing work for other people and for yourself.
That's true. That's true.
What are you tying up over there?
So I'm in the middle of, I'm half between a divination and the call. And I realize I scheduled, so I'm over here like I'm sorry, y'all.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
So I'm over here like listening to the conversation, but then I just casting some quick stuff for E5 real quick. I'm sorry.
Now I know why this 7 o'clock time came out of nowhere. Nah.
You said it. Look, you said in the beginning. You said we're working priests. That's what you said in the beginning.
I didn't mean now. Good God.
But no, we good. It's just for a family member, so we good. They understand. They understand about a podcast, so we good. But it's a good conversation, though, y'all. Good conversation.
Yeah, man. It's definitely. I want you to tell that story that you told on your page. I think it was Ose Meiji.
Mm-hmm.
About Orunmila when he was wrestling. I want you to tell that story.
Oh yeah. So I know it's a couple different versions, but they all speak of the same outcome, same reasoning. But you know, it was a time where Orunmila was like, you know, wrestling and like no one could throw him down, and he ended up, you know, announcing, and he wanted, I think it was like 3 or 4 opponents. And one of the opponents was like the undisputed wrestler. So it was this big old thing where he threw all of them down, including the one that was the undisputed champ. And, you know, naturally, Orunmila became the champ. And everybody, the community was like, yeah, you know, you get the recognition. But all of that was silent when he got home. Because when he got home, his wife was upset. Because she's like, you're not taking care of home. Where's the money? Like, you got all these titles, everybody praising you, but we struggling, we hungry, we need money. We need money for these kids, we need money for the house. You're not providing. Like, you need to get this together. So, you know, just saw the strength of how upset his wife was, and also that he knew he wasn't taking care of home. He did divination, and you know, it came out that the Awo told him he's not using his intellect and just relying on his straight strength. And in order to be successful overall in this life, and not just in one aspect, especially when it came to his family, and said you need to think more, you need to use more of your intellect and allow people to throw you down. Because if you make this announcement and say, hey, you can throw me down, which essentially how they translated is the throwing, the casting when you throw the apole. So he took, you know, of course, Ebo. We all know it was always Ebo. but it's also that advice that, you know, he took and he made the announcement, you know, for people to come, because of course you get a chance to throw the undisputed champion down, people won't pay. And that's what the owl told him. He said people will pay anything for that. So, you know, just for that recognition and to be able to say, hey, I threw, you know what I mean? But what Orunmila realized is that once he was allowing people to throw him down, they also had concerns. They had issues themselves, and they were seeking advice on top of all those things, where, you know, they were coming with gifts, they were coming with money, because in return they needed help. And soon after, he realized that he became very well known, accessible, and he was making money just by letting people throw him down, and also bringing gifts, and also, you know, giving them the advice that they needed in order, you know, to succeed in their own lives, which meant they're going to come back, and he will always be in business. And he just had to humble himself enough, which is simple as just to let them throw you down. And essentially that's, you know, it talks about how us using the Opwele, how that came about, and how, you know, to seek those, you know, those advice, or, you know, to see, you know, what the verse would say, or what, you know, what can we do? You simply just, you throw in everything in within that verse or that will do. You get the prescription provided to you at bow, and then boom. But guess what? I'm coming back because I'm gonna need it again. So yeah.
Man, that was a great story, and I wanted you to tell that story because of what we just said about the things we don't think about with Orisha, because you would never think about Orunmila as a person.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, when I'm reading that story, I'm thinking like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, like, you
He was
know.
in the Kumite. He was in
Right, and he go to Hong Kong or something, and the guy tells him, "No, you gotta let him throw you down." And it's like I be thinking, that's how my mind goes sometimes. But I love it. I love it.
Orunmila came out there kicking, doing the splits.
And then at the end, he's like, you know, the song comes on, and he's on the mat.
It's gonna be a song. It's always.
And you know, John Claude, he be like, you know, so don't mind me. My mind be, yeah.
To add to what you're saying, yeah, the verse, the main part of the verse, Sheshe Olungo, Edu Oleja, Sheshe Olungo, Enibano Edu, Asanwo, Sheshe Olungo, Edu, which is Orunmila, which I like to remind people, Edu is the name for Orunmila because of his, like, do, to be black, like doo because of his black skin. So if anybody thought Orunmila wasn't black, it's right there in his
Black man.
Yeah,
He ain't the only one either.
just like Eshu is black, and all of them black. But it says that Edu Orunmila cannot fight. Sheshe Olungo Orunmila cannot fight. Whoever beats him will end up paying. Anybody know Edu Asawo? Whoever ends up beating Orunmila will have to pay him.
Yep.
Orunmila done did everything. I feel like he done gone to every business in one Odu or another.
Yeah, just the travel. If you just read about Orunmila travels, man, it's amazing what happened to him. Orunmila be somewhere just doing some work for somebody. They didn't gave him their daughters and
Yeah.
He be on
Listen.
Like they didn't gave this man everything, you know. I can't remember what verse it was, but it was one where Orunmila had been gone for so long, and his wife, she was holding it down though, and everybody was trying to like get her to be like, you know, Orunmila ain't coming back. You need to be with me. Orunmila.
Oh, and what is that?
You know, Orunmila's never.
I can't remember.
And he said one day he just showed back up with all these riches.
Yep.
She said they said it was like maybe 2-3 years. He's gone. It ain't like he could call you, you know.
Right.
He just show back up with all the money, and all the. But she stayed true, and you know, when she went for divination, it told her stay true, stay rooted, stay locked in. And,
Yep.
She did that, boy, and Orunmila. Hey, honey, I got everything.
Listen, she probably was still pissed though. I ain't gonna hold you. Shoot.
Come
Like,
on,
yeah, I'm
baby.
happy, but
Come on, baby. You know my job. You sound like Tommy. You know what I do.
you know what I
You
do.
ain't
Come
got no
on, man.
job, Tommy. You ain't got no job.
Can you imagine a woman walking around here like Tommy? Just
Hey, man, you know the king asked for me way out in Saki.
no,
We are in Ife. How you gonna get there? I'm gonna walk.
right?
Like, have y'all ever looked at the map and just be like, man, what on earth? Where was you at?
Exactly.
Man,
So,
listen.
Baba, let me add to the since we have referenced we have messed this my Asheta return to sender medicine. Got to take that.
Oh yeah.
So whoever
Got to.
whoever coming at me, it's going right back to you.
You gotta have a lot of that medicine. You do a lot more work for people than I do. You gotta have a lot.
Listen.
You got a lot of. You gotta have Ebe Agba. You gotta have a lot. You gotta have a lot of stuff.
All of it.
Because man, you never know who's playing.
Never know.
Boy,
Never know at all.
now
That's
they
why I
mad
said
at you.
a nice
know you ain't
person, but don't think you don't got an enemy.
paid for her. Man, I'm gonna get you now.
Exactly.
Well, since it's I usually do Odu today, but we're chanting so many Odu, so I'm gonna share a story. It's an Ogun story. I call this story "The Woman in the Woods." It's about a hunter called Fira Ariku, and he went to a forest called Oniworo. Now, in this forest, it said no hunter has ever went into this forest and returned alive. So, from when Firi Ariku comes into this forest, adversity starts from the very beginning. He runs into a woman seated under a large tree. She's mute. She doesn't speak. He hints her with the greetings, Ashogun Aro, which is a common hunter greeting. She says nothing. So now he's looking at, what's up with this woman? She's not saying anything. It's at night. She's under this tree. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna keep about my day. So he goes through the woods looking for, animals. He's hunting. Before he knows it, he's right back in front of this woman. Right back in front of this tree. And he's like, did I take a wrong turn or something? What's going on? So he takes a different route. Right back in front of this woman. Right back in front of this tree. He's like, nah, I know I went left that time. Okay, it's a river up here. I'm going to cross this river, and I know, that I won't end up here. So, he swims. He crosses the river right back in front of this tree. Right back in front of this woman. So he's like, what is going on? Am I caught in some kind of labyrinth? So the woman, again, she's not saying anything. He's asking her, what do you want with me? What is the problem? She's not saying anything. So Hunter pulls out one of his charms. And he says, Oju miwa, ya. All of a sudden, a path opens up, and the hunter is able to get away from the woman. In the tree, it leads to another nearby forest, and he says to himself, "Bio ba jepe momura lo latinu jepe intore aimo a egun ode oba fe be oje nijo na od odabi inka," which says, had I not equipped myself properly from home, the hunter's masquerade would have perished in this grove on this day. So, my fellow practitioners, who do you think this woman was?
Mm. That's a good question.
Oh, it's an easy answer.
Is it?
Don't think who, think what.
The Iroko tree?
She's in Iyami.
Oh, duh. Okay, gotcha. Hold on, which one? Or are we just saying all of
Just
them?
a random Iyami he ran.
Okay.
That is
Makes
a
sense.
lot of different hunter poetry they run
Wow.
into. They run into the elders of the night. There's kind of a little beef between
True.
Ògún worshippers and Iyami over who rules the forest.
Mm.
Often hunters run into
I like that.
mothers of the night and have to either have their charms or appease them or something. And
I like that.
you'll hear it in different literature. So I just wanted to share that with y'all tonight. Baba's over there cooking the egg coal. He's putting the feathers in the egg coal.
Right? Exactly. I'm about to say, show it.
What's the whole deal? What's the but hopefully everything is is sanctioned, accepted, and manifest on his end. Again, thank y'all for coming out. Another great episode.
Yes.
And definitely.
And again, congratulations to you.
We'll do it for Paul. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Like I said, now the work begins. So.
And I pray for much upliftment and elevation and success and clients and money and all the things you're desiring and that you deserve.
I share. And the same to you, the same to Baba. So, gonna keep this thing going. Episode 5, episode 6 coming next month. Hope y'all join us, man.
Definitely let us know what y'all interested in, hearing, talk about, want to learn,
Yeah, hit me up. Go to the Instagram, the Owl Meta podcast. Support Brother Adetayo's website that I put in the description. He's got a calendar on there.
Yep.
He's got games to help you learn Odu. He got all types of stuff on his website. And of course, I have my book. And just hit us up with your ideas. And I
also make soaps. I do have a website, but mostly it probably be on Baba Ifakarede's website as well. So
okay, absolutely. So yeah, you need some soaps, man. Go on the website, see what you're interested in, and hit us up, man. Whatever y'all want to learn, we post almost daily on the Our Mental Podcast story. Different Odu. Different things in the tradition, different things. Hey, Iya. That's a future Iya Nephi right there.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. Yep.
Go get your shoes on. She's sitting there playing the bell. Go get your shoes on, baby girl.
Listen, it's almost a rule. When people see bells, they just gotta play it. My wife plays go all the time. I don't know why. She just grabs the stick and starts
exactly
having a good time.
Yep.
Having a good time, man. But we out, y'all. Y'all have a safe night. Thank y'all.
Have a good week, a good weekend.
Yes.
Good month.
Good talk, y'all.
Like, share, do all those great things, man.
Yes.
Odabo.
What I'm trying to say in the final analysis, once we take control of ourselves, we have to stop being imitators and be innovators. We realize we've got a continent 12 million square miles. Wherever our bodies are on the face of this earth, our cultural and political heartbeat is in Africa. Whether you ever go to Africa or not, that is your home. That is the home of your spirit. And that is the heart and meaning and definition of your commitment. And none of us, any place in the world, will be free until that continent is free.
The Mossy Warrior Clan was created because myself and others like Brother Nahisi saw a need for a young African group to analyze information concerning the African phenomena with no bias, with rigor, and with scholarship. We created the Mossy Warrior Clan for the purpose of being an expert research team, of being a team that produced products, a team that was capable of producing products for African people globally to dispel myths, rumors, and provide them with accurate scholarship.